All right, you guys, I've done this freaking 57 times on the channel, but I'm gonna do it again because these wheels are awesome. These are were a Tag Motorsports Vossen collaboration. I've been hoarding these wheels for, let's see, when did I get these? 2020 is when I got these wheels. They've been sitting in my air conditioned storage unit waiting for me to get an RS again. They wouldn't fit. They wouldn't fit on the regular GT3. So they're 20s in the front and 21s in the rear. Yeah, 20s in the front. So you're 265, 35, 20 in the front, and they're 325. Yeah, 325, 30, 21s in the rear. But what we're gonna do is prep them. These were coated with CSL Exo when I got them in 2019 or 20, something like that. I don't think I've ever done this where I recoated wheels. So problem we have here is these are satin, so I can't polish them. And I just have to hope that most of the coating is gone and that the new coating will adhere. That's one of the risks to coating wheels. So I guess this is a little bit different video. I don't think I've ever had a set of wheels or a car long enough to recoat. So this is the first time I've ever doing that, and I've coated, seems like hundreds of wheels since I started making videos. So what I have product-wise, traceless we're not going to use. By the way, you got to frickin' place your, just go to obsessedgarage.com right now, place the order. We have a full container of traceless, a little bit of touchless coming on that next container. This is like the most amazing product. Touchless is junk in comparison to this. It's so freaking good. I use it on everything. I mean, just watch this. Let me show you this. Let me get a couple fingerprints on my screen. What the heck? I always get fingerprints on my screen. Get a little smudge. Yeah, a little smudgeroo there. Just grab a towel. This, I would have to, I would use, if it was real nasty, I would use Angel Wax Vision. If it was just regular, nasty, I would do, there you go, you can see it's kind of dusty and smudged up a little bit. But this stuff, just do a couple of spritzes. First thing you could do, you could just leave it here forever and it would evaporate and would leave no trace behind. The other thing it does, notice it doesn't, there's a little run there, but generally speaking, it sits in position. And then just watch how smooth this is. I would have to wipe this. Look at that, it's so good. I mean, invisible glass is amazing. Vision is amazing. Griot's glass cleaner is amazing. There's tons of amazing cleaners out there. But like no pressure, no like 100 wipes. And so I freaking clean everything. I just clean my watch with it. It's so freaking good. Like this is one of the, this and the Merca are like my two favorite detailing or any type of product that I've discovered in the last 10 years. I mean, just incredible. So go buy it. I wasn't really sure because I hadn't tried it, but I'm freaking telling you, just go get it. So the reason I have it out here is because I'm going to probably get a bunch of schmutz all over the TV. So I want to have it clean and ready to go. The other thing I do often is, now I do this like once a day on my phone. I would have had to do like 2 or 3 invisible glass and like doing this kind of swiperoo. And that's all I do is just a couple of wipes, done. And it smells good too. Okay, so back to work. Panel wipe. I have CarPro Eraser, Armors. This is also amazing. The very first wheel coating that I'm like super pumped about. That works really, really great. I liked Deluxe Gliss. I did CSL Exo on wheels. Crystal Serum Ultra works pretty decent on wheels, but we can't get Ultra. I mean, unless you're an accredited installer. I can ask the guys to get it because I sell lots of G-Technic and I'm technically accredited. I just don't have an accredited. So I did all the accreditation training and all of that. I just don't have the have the business to warrant it. But they'll send it to me if I need it, which makes sense. I've got some Astra Grip from SAS gloves, which these are great. A couple of suede applicators from CarPro, and then Stoners and O&R. Because the wheels, apparently I put them away dirty. What the heck is wrong with me? That's not something I do. Oh, the other thing we got to do here real quick. Are we gonna still sell these things? Where is it? What's over here? We sold like 500 sets of these puppies. These are the titanium valve stem covers that we had for the garage giveaway. The garage giveaway's over now, so I'm gonna put that on. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. That's good. Black titanium. Make sure we get a solid coating on there. Put this back in here. Okay, so first step, I've got to clean them, and I want to do the tires. Man, you don't realize how tall these countertops are on Lista Rousseau until you work on something like wheels. So I'm going to spray it this way so I won't hit my TV. This is McKee's N914 diluted 128:1. The wheel stand, I'm sorry, he stopped making them. He has a real job and just decided it was too much effort to do. So Source Garage no longer makes this wheel stand, but I gotta figure something out for you guys because this freaking wheel stand is amazing. And I was just saying I can't live without it. So we've gotta go and figure out what to do. So I just got some multi-purpose towels, and I'm gonna go and just clean the surface of the wheels because they're a little dusty, a little dirty. So the coating is pretty well failed on here. So it should be my guess is we won't have a problem with the, I want to do this. We won't have a problem with it adhering. So they stopped making these wheels. I think they got a cease and desist from Porsche because they look too much like the Porsche wheels. I like the Porsche wheels a lot. I mean, I'm not an aftermarket on GT3 kind of guy, but these do look really great. So we're gonna put them on. Grab this. This would be some of the last projects I do in this garage because the house is sold. Sad day. The Lady Lake house is gone. That's okay though, because I'm making a new garage. I got a little bit of anti-seize on there. You can't coat the wheels on the car because you can't get to the barrels. I mean, you could maybe in a wheel like this. No, you got to take them off. Dang. I have to work on that. Yeah, I think you need to take the wheels off the car. I see people doing it all the time. Like, how are you doing that? Especially, like, I can understand these giant 20-inch wheels where you can reach in the spokes, but what do you just, I think the coating is most useful on the barrels versus the face. The face I can get to. The barrels, half the time, if the caliper's in the way, I mean, I can't get to it. So I think you really have to take them off. I mean, unless it's a center locks, I mean, how hard is it to take a wheel off? Just do it one at a time. Shoot, if I was gonna do multiple coats and I wanted to let it sit for a while, what I would do is I would, let me just get a fresh towel because I got anti-seize all over it. I would take the wheel off, put the first coat on. I'd probably go buy another jack, so I'd have 2 jacks, right? And so I'd take one wheel off, get the first coat on, take the other wheel off, put the next coat, or put the coat on that one. Then I would probably put the second coat on, and then I would put the wheels back on one at a time. I wanted to have these done for Colton Miller's coming from CSM Motorsports on Monday, and we're gonna do a realignment. See, the car's too freaking low. These cars look great sitting still, but when it's cambered out, so this has like a -2.5 or -2.8 camber setup, I'm gonna go back to stock, which is like 1.8, 1.9 or something like that, and I'm gonna come up. The RSs, when you see them driving down the road when they're super low like this, unless you've got some aftermarket really crazy offset, they just don't look good. It looks broken. And so, because I've gone down this path before, and so we're going to raise the car up, and then I'm going to, so let's just ruin this towel. I'm going to raise the car up and bring the camber back out. Shoot, I don't think I can. I think I packed, yeah, shoot. Do I have anything here that could work for this? I don't think I do. All right, I guess we're gonna leave the anti-seize on and we're just gonna try to avoid it. All right, so next step, I'm gonna skip, I guess I don't really need this. I'm gonna go right to the aggressive stuff. I've got some spotting on the back here. Let's see if we can get some of that off. I don't think it's gonna happen. These are the kind of wheels that I think are good enough that I would consider refinishing them, you know, periodically. Because these have been to the mountains many, many times. And so they've gotten, they got a little patina to them that normally my cars don't have. So panel wipe on a black surface like this, I wouldn't spray directly on, just spray it on your towel. This is panel wipe 2.0, so it's not quite as aggressive as 1.0 was, but it's still pretty gnarly. I wouldn't want to risk it. Yeah, see, the spotting is not going to come off. Hopefully when we coat it, it'll darken it up a bit. So I don't need a denib, but you normally see me denibbing my wheels, or on the tires I should say, because these were my wheels on my car, so that's already been done. So before I prep the face here, I'm gonna do the tires. Just give them a good solid cleaning. For me, tires and tire dressing, the key to success is the prep. Just like glass, just like your windshield. I was just noticing yesterday, and I've been chasing, looking for a new glass coating. I put a new glass coating on this car, Art to Shine. If you watched episode 4, I put some Art to Shine glass coating on this car. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's cleaned it up really pretty decently. Not bad, not bad. But CarPro Clarify Phobic on top of Wolf's Nano Glass Sealant. Still my favorite. It's just the best performance. Yeah, see, as it dries, it keeps coming back. I'm not gonna be able to get all that off. That's sad. The coating will help mask it, but there's just some water spotting and etching, which, you know, if it was a gloss wheel, I could just polish it, but a satin wheel like this can't do it. So before I clean the face, let's do the tires. So tires, normal procedure, cut the nibs off, which you've already done. These are Sport Cup 2s. And then you take a towel that you're willing to ruin, and we're gonna take Stoner's Terminator. I prefer Terminator over, I feel like if I use mineral spirits, then my tire dressing doesn't work quite as well, but that's another alternative. But certainly don't spray this on the wheel, especially a black wheel like this. Don't spray it on the tire directly. I wanna go separately and do it like this. It's okay if you get a little bit on, but I found that you just wanna make sure that you don't get any overspray on the wheel, on a black wheel, because you'll make it splotchy. See, removing some gunk. Now these aren't particularly nasty because, again, these are my wheels on my car. These would be pre-OG tire dressing, so these would have been CarPro Pearl on here. Non-diluted CarPro Pearl. So this Terminator is not going to totally strip the tire. The Terminator just leaves some sort of solvent behind that, I don't know, just accepts the tire dressing really well. But now we got it nice and clean and ready for our tire dressing. Okay, so let's go back to panel wipe. Let's flip our towel over here. Let's get our wheel completely prepped. You do have to revisit the panel wipe back to the towel quite a bit because it evaporates pretty quickly, because it's basically just isopropyl alcohol. So that's about the extent of the prep we're going to need to do. Just wipe it down. Try to keep your fingers off of the wheel. And then we're going to coat it. And I think I'll probably do 2 coats on this. This is the car that I plan on keeping for a while. People love to make predictions. So I predict that this car is going to last for 2 months. And if it does, well, so what? That means I got something better. So you can predict all you want. It doesn't bother me. I just think it's dumb. It's one of the first car products I hoarded. I did hoard a Dynon midsection that I had for a number of years for E92, even when I didn't have one. I think I've gotten all the way around. Okay. So that's prepped. So now let's coat it up. Good. I'm not going to coat inside of that anyway because the center lock nut will cover that up. All right, so we'll set these aside. Grab a couple of these guys. Let me get a coating removal towel. I only need one. So imagine, this could be a future model here, Rusty, who bought this house, everything stays. So all this stays. All the stuff, all these, pads, polishes, everything, Milwaukee Master Collection, everything stays. So he made me an offer as is. Pots, pans, spatulas, everything in the garage. Just take all my personal crap out, furniture, AV, outdoor kitchen, everything. So it made the move easy for me, and I'm gonna make it easy for him too. Take this thing off. Interfering with my glove. Okay. So, we have our wheel coating. This is a really high solids, so it's pretty thick, from my friend Bradley Nielsen Armor Wheel Coating. It's a super high temp, really thick and solid, high solids. I think it's probably silicon dioxide based, resin delivered. So the silicon dioxide is embedded in resin, and that resin is real thick. And so I always like to do the back side of the wheel first. Yeah, so hopefully it covers up some of that water spotting and etching that's on there. And so before you get excited and say, well, just use a water spot remover, they don't frickin' work. It would work if it might help break it down to polish, but it can't polish. So hopefully this will kind of mask some of it, but it's in the barrel of the wheel anyway. This is inevitable. So application is pretty simple. I'm gonna put this on a applicator like this, and then I'm going to put it on. And then we're gonna wipe it off. some solid insight there for you. Stay organized. This is easy to stay organized on this satin black wheel because I can clearly see where I've been and where I haven't. I bet you this kind of masks any of the dirtiness. And so there is a risk that my original CSL XO will reject this coating. Pretty rare that it would do that, I think, on a satin wheel, but it was pretty much toast anyway. This is pretty forgiving too. Normally a high solids, thicker coating like this, you'd have to rush it or do much smaller sections, but I can do the whole barrel of the wheel safely and then level it without any rushing. So then I just start where I left off and just level it out. There's nothing better, to me, there's nothing better than coating a satin finished wheel. It just makes it look great. I'm gonna come back around. I always do the back of the wheel too. Again, I think it's more important to coat the areas that you don't have access to, because then it makes it easier to clean. Now look at that. All that etching and spotting disappeared behind the coating. Almost all of it. That was great. All right, let's do the back of the wheel here. So I always like to do the face last because, you know, right here I'm going to get a little over coverage, if you will. And so I'll be able to see it when I turn the wheel around and level it. You know, the back is less important than the front. Dare I say, it's a little too tall for me here. Like most modern coating, it's wipe on, wipe off. You just get it on the surface. By the time you're done with a section, it's ready to wipe off. I don't understand the physics of why a wheel always walks when I'm on the stand, but it does. It's annoying. All stands, it walks to the front. That's why we have these. As you turn it, it does that. All right, so let's do the front here. So let's start on the valve stem, even though we can see it on this wheel. Let's make sure we get our titanium valve stem coated there. Most important on a silver wheel or a white wheel or something that isn't quite as visible as this satin black is to just stay organized, and so that's why I always start on the valve stem and work my way around, making sure I get solid, even coverage over the entire surface. And I've only done one coat of this. We'll see how my time looks, but I might do two. I think the main advantage of doing two on the wheels is if you miss a spot, which of course I would never do. I think I placed the deposit on the APG Bronco, so the Bronco is in process. It's gonna be sick. White, 4-door, full Pro Runner build, so the full travel suspension. And so I think the Evo will get replaced by the Bronco when it arrives in January. So they start with a Bronco Wild Track because the Bronco Raptor has a bunch of electronic stuff that isn't really very modifiable at the moment. But I think it's gonna be fun. We'll see. We'll see how long that one lasts with me. I might even go off-roading once. Let's see how that goes. That'll be a fun. I'll have to go when it's real dry. Don't get too muddy. Almost all the way around here. And so what I'll probably do, just kind of do these wheels at my leisure. I don't mind doing wheels because I just do whenever I get tired of it. Sometimes I'll knock out all of them, but generally if I get bored with it, I will just do until I'm bored and then come back around the next day or the next week sometimes and coat it, finish the job whenever I'm feeling inspired. The other nice thing about satin is that, again, it'll be really easy to see if I missed leveling any area. So remember, we're not wiping off the coating, we're wiping off excess. More is not better, so you just need to get even coverage. And then you have to, no matter how you apply it, you have to come back and do this leveling step. So I'm not, as soon as the coating hits the surface, it bonds. The amount that's gonna stick is stuck. And so what I'm doing now is just removing excess that isn't necessary. And so if you put some big, thick, goopy layer, it's not gonna give you a thicker layer. But you can, a lot of coatings will give you the ability for it to lay on top of itself. So you can layer this, so I can put 2 coats. And it would generally be best served to let it cure for at least a couple of hours. In my case, I'll probably let it cure for a day or 2, come back around and do another coat. I mean, it sure looks like it's not rejecting. The way you would tell if it was rejecting, it was all kind of bubble up looking. This seems to be applying like normal. It makes the wheel look beautiful. I think these wheels probably have like 5,000 or 6,000 miles on them, something like that. Quite a bit of rocky miles too on the gravelly roads up in the mountains. Some of those roads have quite a bit of debris on them. And they seem to be holding up better than the OE wheels do. These thinner blades don't grab the rocks as much as the thicker blades that the stock wheels have. Okay, and I'll do you a favor on this video. I'll dress the tires too while I'm at it here. But normally I would wait to dress them at the very end, but we'll do it right now for you. And just do an inspection. You can get a light out if you need to. The lights are so good in here, I can see everything I need to see. But if you aren't in as well of a lit a place, I think the best light for this type of inspection is the line light. This light is amazing. You would think I think these are like a 90 bucks or 100 bucks or something like that. I have it in the store. And so this is the best, I think, the best coating inspection light. And what I'm looking for is just smudges. Looks pretty darn good. This wheel stand is awesome. Sorry you can't have it. There we go. All right, so let's do the tires. I forgot to get the tire dressing out, so let's get it off of the thing here. Somehow I got a blood arm. Oh, it's from that bolt that we cut. I'm gonna miss this place, but we're gonna build another one. OG tire dressing, OG tire brush. So this is the Detail Factory super fine, basically interior bristles. I like the interior bristles. I learned from the this is an interior brush. I'm like, what am I gonna do on the interior of this stupid thing? And so that's when we started using this for tire dressing, because it, especially on tires of this size, Just goes on so smoothly and evenly. You don't need a ton. Now I'm going to lay it on a little thicker, and I'm going to let it sit. The best application of tire dressing is the second application, right? So after you clean it, so I won't strip it, but I'll clean it, and then we'll do another application after the first wash. That's when I think it gets best. So this really soft bristled interior brush just does a great job of applying a less smudgy tire dressing. So this application, I'll leave it all shiny like this, and then I'll get it dialed at the very end when I put it on the car. Just wipe the excess off. And then I've got a nice base layer to continue to build on. Take a little bit off, rebuild, and just do it that way. And I'll take my towel. Make sure I get any smudges off of there. And we're good. So that's the process. It's gonna look real nice on this Golf Blue. Look at how good the car looks. So I didn't show you, but I did XOV5 off camera. XOV5 the whole thing, trim, everything, you know, under the hood, door jambs, all of that. The long-term process on this car, eventually I'll pull the PPF off, determine, you know, what I'm going to polish and what I'm going to fix. Underneath the car is pretty scratched up. The base paint is really scratched. I think it's either SunTech or S-Tech. It's certainly not Expel. I have Expel right there, a lot more peel. The base BMW paint has a lot more orange peel than this does, but this doesn't look like Expel, but it could be. It accepted the CSL XO really nicely, super slick. It'll last a long time, and then maybe in a year or so I'll pull it off and do a full detailing series, and then have Ryan Burrows at Auto Paint Co. to redo it. But the next part of the series will be interior. I'm going to set up the interior. We'll do radar detector. I'm going to do the Uniden R8, blend mount, hardwired. I don't like mirror taps as much. We will do the Crazy Eddie's Ed guards. I'll do the fire extinguisher. What's the extinguishers? OEMextinguishers.com. Did me a Golf Blue custom painted fire extinguisher, and then I have these are from what are these guys? Gagefaces.com. I'm putting in these really cool GT3. He had to make me a new one because the plus and minus is backwards. So all these gauges, I'm going to get rid of the white gauges on there. So we'll jump into the interior here soon, and then on our next episode. So thanks for watching, and we'll have an episode done an exhaust install, and then multiple episodes of alignment and the CSM system. I'm really excited about it. I'd love to be able to do precision alignment in my own garage. It could be really cool to have. Thanks for watching. Go stop right now if you haven't done it. Go frickin' buy Traceless, I'm telling you. And you might as well buy all this other crap that I'm using in the video if you found this useful. So thanks for watching. See you soon.